Tonight is Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who rumor has it is a pretty decent debater himself. Senator, it's great to see you. I know you served in the Senate with Harris. Are you surprised that she's just terrible at these interviews after all this time?
You know, I'm not. She is, number one, an ideologue. She is hard left. Her voting record was literally to the left of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Now, I served with Bernie and Elizabeth. There ain't much room to their left. She is very different from Joe Biden in one respect. Biden is basically a puppet. Kamala is a true believer. She believes this nonsense. And so I watched that debate, and Kamala has one answer to every question. And her one answer is, I hate Donald Trump. So whatever the question, immigration, why do we have 11.5 million people invading this country? Answer, I hate Donald Trump. Iran, if Iran's America's greatest enemy, why did you give him $100 billion? Answer, I hate Donald Trump. How are you different from Joe Biden? What would you do differently than Joe Biden? Her answer, I hate Donald Trump. She has no answer to anything. And I got to say, the one that ticked me off the most is actually the one you just played there a minute ago, where Brett asked her quite reasonably, do you wish to apologize to the parents of Laken Riley? Do you wish to apologize to the parents of Rachel Marin? Do you wish to apologize to Jocelyn Nungari's mother? I know Jocelyn's mother, Alexis. She's a wonderful young woman grieving her 12-year-old daughter raped and murdered by illegal aliens that Kamala Harris released. And Kamala couldn't bring herself to apologize. She said she feels sorry, but she would take no accountability and she won't change the policies, which means today she's releasing new illegals who will rape and murder someone else. She's doing the exact same thing. And by the way, my opponent in my Texas Senate race, Colin Allred is Kamala Harris. They're both open border radicals who take no responsibility for their disastrous policies.
Now, the Democrats want to dehumanize Trump, and in your race, that you don't care, that Trump doesn't care, that they're just mean, that they want to, put women, back in the kitchen. I mean, it's just the same old, tired, cliches. But meanwhile, Trump goes on with this Univision interview, another kind of hostile, event, and he's asked about the three virtues that Kamala Harris possesses. What would they be? This is what he said. I think we have the soundbite in one. Yeah. Anyway, we'll play it to you in 1 second. But in general, I think we have it. Let's listen.
She seems to have an ability to survive. She seemed, because, she was out of the race and all of a sudden she's running for president. She seems to have some pretty long-time friendships. And that's, also, I don't call that an ability. I call that a good thing. And she seems to have a nice way about her. I mean, I like the way, some of her statements, some of her, the way she behaves in a certain way.
Basically, all she could say about him was, well, he seems to love his family. I mean, he's really gracious. I mean, I've known you for, 25 years, Ted. Same thing. I mean, but that's all they can do. So they're the smear and fear machine.
Look, they're motivated by hate. They've convinced themselves they hate Donald Trump with all of their heart. Their policies are a disaster, and so what they do is they lie. Look, I'm seeing the same thing. I had a debate this week with Colin Allred. The entire debate, just like Kamala Harris, he's trying to pretend that he hasn't been a hard left liberal, that he hasn't supported open borders, that he hasn't voted to defund the police, that he hasn't opposed oil and gas and energy. And he's running over $100 million of ads lying to the people of Texas. I'll tell you, Laura, I'm getting massively outspent. And so I want to encourage your viewers, please come to tedcruz.org, tedcruz.org right now, because this race is a 1 or 2 point race, and we are seeing $100 million come in. And the only way we're surviving is millions of people are coming to tedcruz.org and giving 25 or 50 or $100 or even more. And that lets us communicate the truth. It's what Donald Trump is doing, pointing out that his policies work, securing the border, unleashing the economy, and their policies are a disaster. So I'm grateful for the folks that go to tedcruz.org.